We all think our situation is unique. We think our minds are crazy and chaotic. We can't sit, let alone stop, and there's nothing we can do about it. Or we've tried some things and nothing worked. Either way, we think it's just how we are. The reality is that this is a universal condition. We all suffer from the monkey mind, a term coined by the Buddha over 2,500 years ago. It is a basic condition we experience simply from being human. We aren't as different as we like to think. The conditions which create stress are the same for all of us, and these have affected humans for thousands of years. And the cure has existed for just as long. Buddhist wisdom tells us that just as there's a central quality to all of our suffering, there's a central cure for it as well. Stress and anxiety are no exceptions. When we look at stress and anxiety, certain recurring themes rise to the surface. If we can work on these principles in tandem with our daily mindfulness and setting meditation practice, then we can not only relieve stress and better manage our anxiety, we can even break the patterns of behavior that cause stress and anxiety in the first place and overcome them completely. I'd like to offer a few steps today that have worked for me personally, so know that I am talking from direct experience. We begin with the very first aspect of meditation, Samatha. Samatha is a Sanskrit word which can be translated as stopping, and it's the act of stopping, calming, resting, and healing to cultivate a tranquil mind. Within this piece of Buddhist wisdom exist essentially all the components needed to not only relieve but altogether overcome stress and anxiety. By letting the light of mindfulness guide you, you can use this ancient wisdom to transform your everyday state of mind and realize a great amount of relief from both stress and anxiety. First up, we bring the pebble to rest, the pebble being the mind. The first step, and really the foundation of all meditative practice, is to calm the mind. So it goes without saying that establishing a strong mindfulness meditation practice is the key here. By taking time to learn mindfulness and meditation, we can develop a daily practice and stick with it. And then we can work on making mindfulness a way of life. You can cultivate an extraordinary, ever-present state of tranquility within yourself. The basic state of a stressed or anxious mind is of chaos, disorder, or a lack of unity. So, by focusing on a central point, especially something which has a significant effect on our state of mind and stress and anxiety levels already, our breath, we can experience a great relief and generate a still calmness like a pebble resting at the bottom of a lake. And with that calmness comes clarity and the ability to identify the very patterns of behaviors which are generating our stress and our anxiety. Secondly, we need to identify harmful patterns. Once you've begun to calm the mind, you'll start to be able to identify harmful stress and anxiety creating patterns of behavior with your everyday mindfulness practice. Before calming the mind, you're traveling through life with dulled senses. Lots of things are happening behind the scenes in the mind, but you can't detect them because you're not tuned to them correctly. Just as you can't see down to the bottom of a body of water with ripples running across the top of it, without calm, you cannot have clarity, and this affects your ability to navigate life's challenges skillfully. By cultivating a tranquil mind, you not only calm the mind, but you remove the obstructions which kept you from seeing with clarity. This is critical, without which this step would not be possible. The following examples of harmful stress and anxiety I'd like to offer. These are behaviors and they sound something like this. I can't stop. I have so much to do. I can't handle this. I'm not capable. As soon as I get this done, I'll take a break. That break never really happens. I'm fine. I'll stop later. What if this happens? What am I going to do? They're supposed to listen to me. Why didn't this happen the way I wanted? Another great example of this is in the West idea of a vacation. Many in the West make big plans for vacations with a set of events and to-do list. But what ends up happening is you get back from that vacation more tired than when you began. And with that, the point of vacation is lost. We have forgotten how to truly rest our bodies and our minds, and we suffer greater stress as a result. By identifying these harmful patterns of behavior, we're halfway to cutting off the source of the stress altogether and experiencing the greatest relief we can. So, what are we actually supposed to do? Your only job here is to acknowledge these thoughts, feelings, and behaviors with your mindfulness as you notice them. Do not read into them. Don't pry. Just acknowledge what arises non-judgmentally. This sounds simple, but is often difficult and it takes time. Patience is very important from this point on, but you've gained considerable relief along with the other benefits of your meditation practice, provided that you continue to practice consistently. You should have more than enough motivation to continue. Most of the time, at least. And lastly, we need to be present and give ourselves time to heal. Once these patterns have begun to arise and become gradually clearer to you, you need to give yourself time to heal. Continue to be present for these patterns, the thoughts, feelings, and actions, and have patience. Patience cannot be overstated here. Developing mindfulness as a way of life takes a lot of work, but it's so worth it. You need to have patience and allow things to develop and come as they will. It's also very important to be compassionate with yourself as you tend to face somewhat uncomfortable things about yourself at this point in your practice. Prioritizing your mindfulness practice truly is the most important effort here, not just for clarity and calm's sake, but also to stay non-judgmental. This will help you generate and maintain self-compassion. Making the effort to simply be present, patient, and compassionate with yourself as these things arise will greatly help you reduce their hold over you with time. Your mindful presence is a very healing energy, and truly nothing else is needed. I would like to offer these final words. The truth is daily. Stressors and the situations which cause you anxiety may never go away. Nearly every day I am confronted with challenges that test my patience. But just because those potential stressors exist doesn't mean you have to be controlled by them. You can change your relationship with those stressors. By changing how you relate to them, you can not only manage them better, but with time, you cut off the source of the stress and anxiety altogether. Work to bring calm to the mind. Identify harmful patterns of behavior and be present, patient, and compassionate, for the healing process only happens then. Relief is possible if you let the light of mindfulness and the wisdom of Samatha guide you. I would like to thank each of you for being here and sharing your time with me. If you have specific topics or situations you would like to learn more on, please drop me a line in the comments below. If you would like to support my efforts and outreach, you can do so via Patreon or several other methods via my links in the description below. As always, a gracious thanks to each and all. Peace and love, Jim.